Alright, timestamp. It is June 6th, 2026. It's 666 technically, right? 11:09 p.m. I got a whiny dog behind me. Oh god. You guys need to go frolic through the daisies out here? Alright, come on. That's my arm. It doesn't require licking. Come on, Tam. Be gone. Alright. Just like slobbered all over my right arm for some reason. I know why. He's a dog. He's a good dog, though. I could do without. I could do without the generous licking that I received. Gotta be careful where you say that, right? Did a garage sale today. Made like $60. That was kind of meh. Hoping for a little more than that. Alright, I was hoping for a lot more than that. So, we'll be doing a lot of eBay. Oh, Janus. Hi. Really? That's your plan? That's your plan right there? Yeah. Yeah, what you do? Genuine three-legged cat. Not AI. I know eventually there's going to be something that's like, that's definitely AI. That cat has 3 legs. Which I say he does not have 3 legs, he has 2 legs and 1 arm. He had to have his front left amputated. For those that don't know, because of it was broken in like 4 places when we found him. Not sure what he got into, but it hurt him. Yeah. But he's recovered quite well. He's living a pretty good life. He and my other cat Hex are best friends and attempt to kill each other on a regular basis, as cats tend to do when they're playing, right? Something like that. Yeah, I just got up a little while ago. I actually took a nap after the garage sale. The heat kind of wiped me out. I had a headache. I went to bed with a headache, woke up with a headache. I took some Tylenol. Yeah, I see him, and it's pretty much gone away. I still got a little bit like the residue, the shadow of it, but for the most part, Komenzi. For the most part, we're good, man. Health check. Feel okay. Feel okay. Yeah, we're doing bacon. Got the it's the Aldi imitation bacon, whatnot. Gently. All right. Real dog, no AI. That is Scrappy or Acorn. It is my Beagle Shepherd mix. When I got him, he was one of the last ones of the Beagle mix litter. Didn't know what else he was. As he's gotten bigger with the coloring and whatnot, he's full size now. It's like, okay, your mama was a Beagle, daddy was a Shepherd. Okay. That's fine. But yeah, his birth name was Acorn, which is actually kind of fun. I like it. I have Willow flashbacks with it a little bit. If you know, you know. But yeah, all his litter mates were like tree names. He had a sister named Maple, a brother named Chestnut, you know. Yeah, I was interested in Maple too. She was a cute little thing. I saw the picture, but she'd already been adopted when we went to meet the litter. So, yeah, he was one of 3 remaining pups. And he came over to me, sat down, licked my hand, sat next to me, ran and played, came back to me, sat down, licked my hand, looked at me, went over to Kelly, my wife, sat down, licked her hand, ran back and played, went back, licked her hand. I was like, okay, he's choosing us. Cool. Get in the car, Acorn. You know, that kind of thing. Because sometimes when you're choosing a cat or a dog, let them decide. May not be what you're expecting. Let them decide. You're going to have a much better relationship. He's a good pup. He's a good pup. Yeah, I'm all over the place today. Frustrated with the garage sale. $61. Okay, 61 more than we had. Cool. So much stuff here. You know, it's like I want every garage sale to be, you know, like $500, $600 because, oh my God, we have it to sell. And I got somebody trying to return a high-ticket item on eBay. I'm not sure. They're saying they bought it by, ordered by mistake. And it's like, you haggled with me to make the purchase. I'm hoping they're not going to like try and return something other than they bought for me, try and do like a bait and switch thing. Because I'm not down with that. I'm going to take photographs and whatnot of the package when it gets here, of me opening it, probably film it just to make sure that, you know what I mean, in case you put something else in that package and then claim that you returned it. I'm not playing these games with you. I've had people do that kind of crap. Nope. You walk away with a $500 item and, you know, try and return something that's worth $10 or, you know, just a rock or something like that. No, we're not doing this. Nope. You are not going to hustle me today. Ordered by mistake. You legit haggled with me and asked questions about the item. That's why the whole thing smells to me. It's like, what are you up to? What are you doing? Oh yeah. It's a very simple Bugs Bunny mug, but I like it. Mainly because I think that's fun because it's got that film strip thing going on. You know what I mean? Kind of adds that little to it. And coffee-wise, this is some of the Aldi brand mint chocolate chip ice cream. Alex made it a little while ago. It's pretty good. Again, neither one of the ones that we picked up the other day are ones that would be this is what I want every day, but yeah. It's still a good coffee. It doesn't have to be my everyday coffee to, you know, still be a good coffee. Did a little bit of laundry a minute ago. I need to reset that. I gotta do dishes. I'm going to be doing a lot of eBay listing to try and make up for the fact of $61. That and just to cushion the idea of the return in case it's legit. I gotta pay the guy back. That's annoying. Do I have it in the account? Yeah. Can I resell the item pretty rapidly? Yeah. Still a major pain in the ass. But in dealing with people, there's some things that we've had at the garage sale the past couple times that, number one, I'm not going to necessarily get the money that I want to get for it at the garage sale, clearly. And number two, it's taking up a fair amount of table space. And it's like, you know what? I bet I can eBay that. That's something I bet I could eBay. Let me try and do it that way. because we're not running out of things to put out for the garage sale. That's not an issue. We have lots. Oh dear God, we have lots. But some of this is going to fare better on eBay, I think. Yeah. 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 Same. But I'm going to be working my list. On a completely different note, I actually I didn't know her before, but an older couple dropped by, and I met a woman who, she was asking about something that she was looking at and whatnot. She mentioned that she designed props for theater, and I was just like, oh yes. And apparently she works with the Carolwood Players a fair amount, and I'm like, okay. Once upon a time I probably knew some of the people there, because I worked with this is 30 years ago. I worked with Mask. It's a community theater troupe in Temple Terrace in Tampa. Now I mentioned some names of people that I worked with, and she was like, I never met those people, but I know those names. Those names are legends locally. I'm like, well, like Harry Frayne, he was my mentor in musical theater. He was my mentor. I met him in 1986, I think. Yeah. Yeah, he died in the mid-90s, I believe. I'm still Facebook friends, whatnot, with his daughter, who I did some stuff with back at the same time. But yeah, I mentioned a couple names of people that I worked with back in the late 80s, early 90s, and she was like, okay, I know those names. I never met those people, but I know those names. So we just talked shop for like 30 minutes. I know my kid was like, oh dear God in heaven. But I'm like, okay. Your big thing is prop design. She's like, well, I've done set design and costume design and stuff like that, but I love making weird props. I'm like, okay, cool. What's the weirdest prop you've ever had to make? I'm curious. What's the weirdest or most unusual? She's like, I had to make a dead English seagull. And I was like, okay. Spleeny? And she's like, in the play, a bird hits a window and a character goes outside to pick up the bird and bring the bird inside, so we had to have the bird. And she's like, the script describes it as a dead English seagull, so I had to make a dead seagull. I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, what did you do? What was your base? I said, because not knowing what you did, I would have probably taken, this may sound stupid, I would have probably taken like a rubber chicken and like kind of either cut off the neck, pulled out the, sound effect thingy, but I would have used that as like the frame foundation for the body size. And she's like, I didn't think of that. That's actually a good idea. No, I made the whole thing out of paper mache with wire so that I could make the wings and the head to where it would, move around on its own, because it had broken its neck, but it was still fresh. I'm like, okay. I said, I haven't done as much with paper mache. I would be so scared that it would be brittle, that it might break on stage or whatnot. That's why I was thinking, like, use the rubber chicken body as like a base and then like attach things to it as like a firm, like hard rubber plastic foundation. She's like, I'm not as used to using materials like that. I'm much more used to like paper mache and making things, I'm like, yeah, I do scratch build modeling, so I take things that already exist, like a rubber chicken, and use that as the structure. She's like, okay, all right. And she's like, what's the weirdest thing you've ever had to make? I'm like, the most challenging thing I ever had to make was a 16 millimeter camera for Rent. And she was like, oh, they're doing Rent right now, actually. I was like, I did it 12 years ago? I don't know, 2014, something like that. And she's like, so what did you do in Rent? I said, well, I was Collins. I also did the set design, which was Black Box Theater, so the set is pretty much the set, but I got together all the props and all the set pieces because the set is supposed to be kind of not really bland, but like invisible. The set pieces kind of make it's almost a show in the abstract the way it's done. She's like, I understand what you're saying. I'm like, yeah, I mean, so there's a table and there's an amplifier, a guitar. I mean, the set pieces, you kind of envision the apartment around them. It's not like the movie. Then you can look up on YouTube other productions, whatnot. The set isn't like a flamboyant set. The set pieces, the furniture, and the actual props and whatnot are kind of what make the whole thing work. I said, but I needed to make a 16 millimeter camera within period. And she's like, within period. I'm like, well, the rest of the cast looked at me and was like, you're the old guy. When does this show take place? We know it's probably in the 80s because they're talking about AIDS. I'm like, if you want to get really, 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 really technical, we can pretty much narrow the show down to about 1989 because of Joanne's line about Newt's lesbian sister. And the woman that I was talking to, I think her name was Shirley, was like, mm-hmm. And her husband was like, I'm not sure I get that. I'm like, Newt's lesbian sister, I'll tell them, they heard. That's when Newt Gingrich's sister came out. And because he was so big in the Republican Party, when his sister came out as a lesbian, that was a big scandal. So it is something that people in the legal field, like Joanne and her parents, would be talking about because it was political, legal. It was, ooh, have you heard? They heard. It was, this just in, breaking news. It was a big deal. And Shirley was like, yep. I'm like, so 1989. So I had to make a camera that was old for 1989. And it needs to probably be like a 16 millimeter because that's what Mark Cohen is using, documenting the world, because he's kind of our narrator in the show. He's pretty much our narrator. He's narrating the show through his documentary filming, which, clever writing. That's a good way to do exposition without it being like, okay, here's what's happened. He's doing it for his film and you just happen to be listening in on it. Right? So, yeah. And she was like, were you able to get one? I'm like, yeah. I could order one, like on eBay or something, but most of them, because they were antique-y, to find one that was functional, the cheapest one I found was like $600. And she's like, ooh, for a small production, that. I'm like, yeah. She's like, so what did you do? I'm like, I made one out of a block of wood, PVC fittings, and some other bits and bobs that I found. I got a really great crank for the side, popped that on there. Was using images from like 3 different cameras that were all like late 60s, early 70s, 16 millimeter cameras, using them as kind of a template of this is the stuff that it should have. It wasn't functional, it was a block of wood with PVC fittings on it. Painted the PVC fittings black or gold to give it that brass look. Top coat, polish it, a little tarnish on the side. It looked authentic. I actually had 2 audience members that were like, what model is that? I've never seen that one before. What is that? And I showed them and they're like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. This looks legit. I'm like, this guy. They're like, this is a block of wood. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's a block of wood that you stained and lacquered black to give it a wood grain finish, and then attached. This isn't a functional camera. Yes, I know. Audience members sitting 5 feet away from the camera on stage and not realizing that they weren't looking at a real camera. People that did cameras. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, that's a win. That's a win. Yeah, I made Benny's cell phone out of a block of wood too. He kept breaking the antenna off, damn it. I made him a big old block, white, the kind that are as big as a brick, because they were. But Benny has got a cell phone because, you know, he's married into money now. If you know the show, you know what I'm talking about. Muffy, Allison. Why did Muffy miss the show? But yeah, it was a block of wood that I did a little carving on it. Did some paint work to give it a keypad. Screwed in an antenna of sorts that he... Two separate occasions. It wasn't during the show. It was like in between where I was able to repair it. But damn it, man. Twice he knocked the antenna off the thing. She's delicate. Treat her nice. Please, dear God in heaven. I made the camera especially durable because of how much use it was going to get. But and I will shout out to Brendan. Our Mark was very, very, very gentle with the lady. Thank you for that. For not breaking that thing, because I would have cried. I don't have a plan B. But yeah, parts and whatnot, because some of it I made with what I had on hand. I probably spent about $20 on it. I think the most expensive thing probably was the gold spray paint or whatnot to create the brass finish on the PVC. Because I got some good paint because I knew it was going to need to be, you know, it was going to need to hold up. And some of it still kind of got wipied off a little bit here and there. Not drastic, but enough to where I had to touch it up once or twice throughout the run. You know, spray, top coat. Nobody touched this for a day. You're allowed to pick this up when you're about to go on stage. Meanwhile, it's drying. Don't mess with me. Because I wouldn't have minded if the paint had wiped away to where it looked like actual brass tarnish. Then that would have been great. But it just like wiped away to where you could see like a little bit of white of the PVC peeking through. And it's like, that's not the look I'm going for. That doesn't look like a brass fitting anymore. I gotta fix that. Like if you look down the viewer, you are not going to actually see out in front of you. You're just going to be looking at a lacquered block of wood. So know where you are on stage. Know what you're aiming at. Because you're not going to tell from there. He did really well with it though. For a completely non-functional prop, he did really well with it. I mean, he was half of the selling of the camera to the audience. High props for that. Part of it was the design, part of it was him actually flipping it around and using it and people going, that's a real camera. Anyway, but yeah, no, we talked shop for like 30 minutes. She's like, you should get involved with Caribou Players. Hell, you probably know some of the people there still. I'm like, I would love to. Love to. I'm like, do you know what's in their lineup this year? And she's like, I don't. They just announced the next season. I'm like, I'll look it up. And she's like, why are you... I'll look it up. What do you mean? I'm like, I'm afraid there's going to be a show in there that I really, really want to do, and I know how full my bucket is right now, and it's going to be painful. You know what I mean? If they like announce Little Shop of Horrors, oh, I've always wanted to do Little Shop. You know what I mean? No, you're doing a show that I really want to do, and I don't really have the time. I shouldn't. I want to, but I shouldn't. I want to, but I shouldn't. You know, I've almost been in a Little Shop of Horrors production like 3 different times in my lifetime. 3 different times I found out about auditions like the day after, a week after. You know, oh, they're doing Little Shop? Cool, when? Oh, they just had auditions on Thursday. It's Saturday morning. Yeah. Well, shit. 3 times. True story. You know. Yeah, I mean, if they were to announce Jekyll and Hyde or Sweeney, hold on a sec. Alright. Make it through. Thank you. Take your time. It's fine. I'm coming. Come on, Tam. Yeah? Okay, good. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Bacon! There you go, buddy. He's cute, well, it's not. One of my dad's dogs. Oh. The surviving dog. Long, painful story. Don't get me started on that one. He's growing on me, though. I'll take care of him. God knows my dad wasn't. Dementia. It's funny until it's not. Oh, I got a package today. I'm not sure which one this is. I've got bought a couple of cheap toys. Not sure which one this is. I think it's the Rebels. Alright, so I'm always on the lookout for... I don't think the other one would fit in this box. I'm always on the lookout for small ships. It is. That I can maybe work with for diorama stuff. And I didn't even... Oh, look at you. Hello. I'm always on the lookout for small ones that I can work with. And I didn't even know they had made these. Okay, so full disclosure. Okay. I'm a huge fan of the Y-Wing. Love Y-Wings. Star Wars. Love them. And I guess for Rebels, they made a Y-Wing Scout of some sort. I haven't seen Rebels yet. I want to. Kind of wanted to get through Clone Wars first. So, but they came out with these. And I know he said this was missing parts. That is most likely the back hatch. How do? So you fit like that. Can't fool me. And I guess there is like a gun or something that fits here and like a couple that can go here. I've got a whole bunch of like guns with like posts on them that I could wedge in there if need be. Patch. Please move. What? And you've got a rocket kind of thing because there's a button there. Looks like it makes stuff here happen. So I guess it has like bombs, because the Y-Wing's a bomber. And you can fit a astromech there, clearly. Ooh, forest. Be useful. I just happen to have an astromech on my desk. Because of course I do. I like this guy. I've always liked that particular type of design, like R5D4. I've always loved that more than the dome ones. Don't hate. Yeah. Yeah, look at you. Fitting in there pretty well. And that's one thing with Mandalorian. I forget what season. It was one of the last seasons they did of Mandalorian. It was neat to see R5D4 actually kind of make a comeback of sorts. We've all had a bad motivator before, right? Cut him some slack here, you know. Seriously. So yeah, you can go for a ride in there. That's pretty cool. But yeah, Y-Wing Scout Bomber from Rebels, which from a size standpoint, oh, but let me get a half dozen of these. These are beautiful. I'll probably have one in like pristine original-ish shape, and the rest of them I may do custom paint on and see what I can come up with. But yeah, not incredibly detailed, but that's also great because I don't have to worry about a huge amount of like decals and other silliness. And you're in good shape. It's not like heavily scratched up or anything like that. It's just missing some parts, which is not a big deal. And you've got like a firefly thing going on there. That's fun. Oh yeah, that's right, I went there. Huge fan of that show. Not enough toys. Yeah. Yeah. It's like a baby Y-Wing. I mean, you know, obviously there are design differences, but influenced by heavily. And I approve. You pretty boy. Look at you. Yeah, I need 6 of these. Yay. I am pleased. I think with shipping and everything I paid like just under 20 for it. It was like 18 or something like that. Yeah. I got a new toy. That's cool. But yeah, I'm gonna do the exciting stuff like dishes and laundry. Woohoo! Work on the garage. And once I have space, because there's stuff stacked everywhere. It's the whole before and after in a garage sale. There's always, you know, yeah. Start taking some pictures. Not my OnlyFans, that's a different thing altogether. And start getting some stuff on eBay for like Sunday auctions. Do some 7 days and probably some buy it nows. Because, yeah, rethinking some items, which, yeah. Ordered by mistake. Come on. No, you didn't. If you're about to try and hustle me, I'm not in the mood. No. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Oh, real quick, just to squeeze this in because it's like fresh on my mind. I just watched a official reveal trailer for Resident Evil Veronica. I didn't know they were working on it. Oh. Oh. I'm a little excited about that. It's supposed to be released next year. Just the little bit that they showed, though, if they're putting that much love into it. Oh, yeah. Yes, please. And I guess somebody in the comments said that they have announced they're working on Zero as well. Now do the Outbreaks, and we're good here. We're good with each other. We're good. We're good. Yeah. Yeah, I got a little teary-eyed. That was my head. So that's cool. And by then I should have a computer that actually can handle it. 'Cause I don't think the one I've got right now is. It probably could, but I'd probably have to strip everything off of it to make it work. It was a great computer 5 years ago, but it can't multitask like that anymore. Not with the newer stuff. Nope. But this year is going to be an adventure, so hopefully I can upgrade everybody's gear at that, when all that happens. It's the rainbow through the clouds kind of thing. Yeah. Nothing I can do about that. Just brace for impact, Just heard Hudson in my head. Express elevator to hell. Going down. Yeah, alright. I'm going to call it here. So, hug your parents and their dog if you have to. Hug your kids. He's sitting over there staring at me. Hey, Tanner, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. I know, pup. I know. See, my dad had 2 dogs, and that's the one that my dad kind of neglected because he loved the other dog more. But some of the things that he was doing, he accidentally, there's no other way to put it, he accidentally killed the dog that he loved more because he was giving it special treatment that actually led to his death. There you go. So, being Jan and not Marcia actually probably saved that pup's life. Screwed up as that is. Oh, I got stories. Oh, yeah, sit you down. Anyway. Really, seriously. Make it a great day.